This video is scripted, edited and written by Nihar Dash. List of Air Chief Marshal of India, 1947 to 2021, which is written by Nihar Dash for public domain. Purpose only. Chief of the Air Staff, CAS, is the head and the commander of the Indian Air Force. The current Air Chief Marshal of India is Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria, who will retire on 30 September 2021. He will be succeeded by Air Marshal V.R. Chaudhary. Check the complete list of Air Chief Marshal, ACM, of India from 1947 to 2021 below. List of Air Chief Marshal of India, 1947 to 2021. Chief of the Air Staff, CAS, or Air Chief Marshal, ACM, is the head and the commander of the Indian Air Force. The current Air Chief Marshal of India is Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria. He took office on the 30th of September 2019 and will retire on the 30th of September 2021. He will be succeeded by Air Marshal V.R. Chaudhary. The Indian Air Force, the fourth largest in the world, was officially established on the 8th of October 1932. The main aim of the IAF is to secure Indian airspace and to conduct aerial warfare during armed conflict. Let us have a look at the list of Air Chief Marshal, ACM, of India from 1947 to 2021. So here is our list, which is written by Nihar Dash for public domain. Purpose only. 1 Sir Thomas Walker Elmhurst. 1 Sir Thomas Walker Elmhurst. 1 Sir Thomas Walker Elmhurst. Rank Air Marshal, the 15th of August 1947 to the 21st of February 1950, born on the 15th of December 1895, Yorkshire, England. Air Marshal Sir Thomas Walker Elmhurst, KBE, CB, AFC, DL, the 15th of December 1895 to 6 November 1982, was a senior commander in the Royal Air Force in the first half of the 20th century and the first Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Indian Air Force upon Indian independence in August 1947, in which post he organized the funeral of Mahatma Gandhi following his assassination in 1948. He later became the Lieutenant Governor and Commander-in-Chief of Guernsey from 1953 to 1958. 2 Ronald Ivelaw Chapman. 2 Ronald Ivelaw Chapman. 2 Ronald Ivelaw Chapman. Rank Air Marshal 22 February 1950 to the 9th of December 1951, born on the 17th of January 1899, British Guiana, England. Air Chief Marshal Sir Ronald Ivelaw Chapman, GCB, KBE, DFC, AFC, the 17th of January 1899 to 28 April 1978, was a senior commander in the Royal Air Force in the middle of the 20th century and the penultimate RAF Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Air Force. 3 Sir Gerald Ernest Gibbs. 3 Sir Gerald Ernest Gibbs. 3 Sir Gerald Ernest Gibbs. Rank Air Marshal 10 December 1951 to the 31st of March 1954, born on the 3rd of September 1896, South Norwood, England. Air Marshal Sir Gerald Ernest Gibbs, KBE, C, MC and 2 bars, the 3rd of September 1896 to 13 October 1992, was a senior commander in the Royal Air Force in the first half of the 20th century and the last RAF Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Air Force. 4 Subroto Mukherjee. 4 Subroto Mukherjee. 4 Subroto Mukherjee. Rank Air Marshal April 1, 1954 to November 8, 1960, born on the 5th of March 1911, Calcutta, Bengal, India. Air Marshal Subroto Mukherjee Ob, Bengali. Subrata Mukhopadhyaya, the 5th of March 1911 to 8 November 1960, was an Indian military officer who was the first Commander-in-Chief, C&C, of the Indian Air Force. He was awarded several honors during the course of a 3-decade-long career, ended by his untimely Demise in 1960. He has been called the father of the Indian Air Force. 5 a.m. Engineer 5 a.m. Engineer 5 a.m. Engineer Rank Air Marshal December 1, 1960 to July 31, 1964 Born on 15 December 1912 Lahore, Punjab, Pakistan Air Marshal Aspi Merwin Engineer DFC 15 December 1912 to 1 May 2002, was an officer in the Indian Air Force who rose through the ranks to become independent India's second Chief of the Air Staff, succeeding Subroto Mukherjee in 1960 and preceding Arjan Singh. 6 Arjan Singh 6 Arjan Singh 6 Arjan Singh ranked the first Air Chief Marshal August 1, 1964 to July 15, 1969 Born on 15 April 1919 Lyalpur, Punjab India Marshal of the Indian Air Force Arjan Singh, DFC, 15 April 1919 to 16 September 2017, was a senior air officer of the Indian Air Force. He served as the third Chief of the Air Staff from 1964 to 1969, leading the Air Force through the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965. He was the first and only officer of the Indian Air Force, IAF, to be promoted to 5-star rank as Marshal of the Indian Air Force, equal to the Army rank of Field Marshal. 7 Pratap Chandra Lal 7 Pratap Chandra Lal 7 Pratap Chandra Lal rank Air Chief Marshal July 16, 1969 to January 15, 1973 Born on 6 December 1916 Ludhiana, Punjab India Air Chief Marshal Pratap Chandra Lal, DFC, 6 December 1916 to 13 August 1982, was the Chief of Air Staff, CAS, of the Indian Air Force during the Indo-Pakistan War of 1971. He served in the IAF from 1939 until his retirement in 1973. He was the CAS at the time of Operation Chengiz Khan, the preemptive strikes that were carried out by the Pakistan Air Force, PAF, that marked the formal initiation of hostilities of the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971. 8 Om Prakash Mehra 8 Om Prakash Mehra 8 Om Prakash Mehra rank Air Chief Marshal January 16, 1973 to January 31, 1976 Born on 19 January 1919 Lahore, Pakistan Air Chief Marshal Om Prakash Mehra, PVSM was a former air officer in the Indian Air Force. He served as the Chief of the Air Staff from 1973 to 1976. He received Param Vishisht Seva Medal, the highest military award for peacetime service, in 1968. 9 Harushikesh Mulgavkar 9 Harushikesh Mulgavkar 9 Harushikesh Mulgavkar rank Air Chief Marshal February 1, 1976 to August 31, 1978, born on 15 August 1920 Bombay, India Air Chief Marshal Harushikesh Mulgavkar, PVSM, MVC, 15 August 1920 to 9 April 2015, was a former air officer in the Indian Air Force. He served as the 9th Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force from 1 February 1976 till 31 August 1978. 10 IH Latif 10 IH Latif 10 IH Latif rank Air Chief Marshal September 1, 1978 to August 31, 1981 Born on 9 June 1923 Hyderabad India Air Chief Marshal Idris Hassan Latif, 9 June 1923. 30 April 2018, was a former air officer in the Indian Air Force. He served as the 10th Chief of Air Staff, CAS, of the Indian Air Force, IAF, from 1978 to 1981. After retiring from the Air Force, he served as 11th Governor of Maharashtra from 1982 to 1985. 11 Dilbagh Singh 11 Dilbagh Singh 11 Dilbagh Singh rank Air Chief Marshal September 1, 1981 to September 4, 1984, born on 10 March 1926 Ran, Jalandhar District, Punjab, India. Air Chief Marshal Dilbagh Singh, PVSM, AVSM, VM, 10 March 1926 to 9 February 2001, was the head of the Indian Air Force from 1981 to 1984, as Chief of the Air Staff. He was the second Sikh to hold that position. 12 Lakshman Madhav Kader 12 Lakshman Madhav Kader 12 Lakshman Madhav Kader rank Air Chief Marshal September 5, 1984 to July 1, 1985, born on 10 March 1926 Gurdaspur District, Punjab, India. Air Chief Marshal Lakshman Madhav Kader, PVSM, AVSM and BAR, 1926 to 1985, was the head of the Indian Air Force from 1984 to 1985, as Chief of the Air Staff, and the second IAF Chief of Staff to die in harness. He was awarded the Param Vishisht Seva Medal and ATI Vishisht Seva Medal and BAR. He completed his schooling from the Doon School, Dehradun, India. In his career in the LAF, he has commanded with distinction operational squadrons and stations in the Air Force Academy. During 1971 war, he successfully conducted uninterrupted operations from one of our most forward airfields in one, which was regularly attacked by the PAF. This was due to his meticulous planning. 13 Da La Fontaine 13 Da La Fontaine 13 Da La Fontaine rank Air Chief Marshal July 3, 1985 to July 31, 1988, born on 17 September 1929 Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. Air Chief Marshal Dennis Anthony La Fontaine, 17 September 1929 to 6 April 2011, was the 13th Chief of Air Staff of the Indian Air Force from 3 July 1985 to 31 July 1988. 14 SK Mera 14 SK Mera 14 SK Mera rank Air Chief Marshal August 1, 1988 to July 31, 1991, born on 15 November 1932 Delhi, India. Aur Chief Marshal Surinder Kumar Mehra, 15 November 1932 to 8 December 2003, PVSM, AVSM, VM, was the Chief of Air Staff of Indian Air Force from 1 August 1988 until 31 July 1991. 1. He was born in Delhi. 15 Nirmal Chandra Suri 15 Nirmal Chandra Suri 15 Nirmal Chandra Suri rank Air Chief Marshal August 1, 1991 to July 31, 1993, born on 26 July 1933 Punjab, India. Air Chief Marshal Nirmal Chandra Suri, PVSM, AVSM, VM, ADC, born 26 July 1933, was the 15th Chief of Air Staff of the Indian Air Force. From 31 July 1991 to 31 July 1993, he is an alumnus of the famous Royal Indian Military College, Dehradun. He was a part of the first course of the Joint Services Wing, the present-day National Defence Academy, Pune. He was commissioned in the Indian Air Force as a fighter pilot on 15 March 1952. During the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965, Suri was selected to lead the detachment from No. 20 Hawker Hunter Squadron, and he flew several sorties during the war. In 1969, he was awarded the Vayu Sena Medal for his contributions and devotion to service. 16 SK Call 16 SK Call 16 SK Call rank Air Chief Marshal August 1, 1993 to December 31, 1995, born on the 20th of December 1935, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, India. Air Chief Marshal Swaroop Krishna Kal. PVSM, MVC, ADC is a former Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force. Kal served as the Air Chief from 1993 to 1995. 17 SK Serene 17 SK Serene 17 SK Serene Rank Air Chief Marshal January 1, 1996 to December 31, 1998, born on 1 March 1939, Rawalpindi, Pakistan. Air Chief Marshal Satish Kumar Serene, PVSM. AVSM, VM, ADC, born 1 March 1939, was the Chief of Air Staff of Indian Air Force from 31 December 1995 till 31 December 1998. 18AY Tipness 18AY Tipness 18AY Tipness Rank Air Chief Marshal January 1, 1999 to December 31, 2001, born on 15 September 1940. Place or country is not recognized. Air Chief Marshal Anil Yashwant Tipnis, PVSM, AVSM, VM, ADC, born 15 September 1940, served as Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force from 31 December 1998 to 31 December 2001. He commanded the Air Force to distinction during the Kargil War, when the force flew air superiority and close air support at heights of over 18,000 feet. 19 Srinivasapuram Krishnaswamy 19 Srinivasapuram Krishnaswamy 19 Srinivasapuram Krishnaswamy Rank Air Chief Marshal December 31, 2001 to December 31, 2004, born on 18 January 1943, Madras, Tamil Nadu, India. Air Chief Marshal Srinivasapuram Krishnaswamy PVSM, AVSM, VM and BAR, ADC, born January 1943, is a former air officer in the Indian Air Force IAF. He served as the 19th Chief of the Air Staff. From 2001 to 2004, he raised the first electronic warfare squadron in the Indian Air Force. He has the rare distinction of having commanded 3 operational commands of the IAF, the Western, Southwestern and Central Air Commands. 20 Shashindra Pal Tyagi 20 Shashindra Pal Tyagi 20 Shashindra Pal Tyagi Rank Air Chief Marshal December 31, 2004 to March 31, 2007, born on March 14, 1945, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. Air Chief Marshal Shashindra Pal Tyagi, more commonly known as SP Tyagi, served as the 20th Chief of Air Staff of the Indian Air Force and served from 31 December 2004 to 31 March 2007. He was succeeded by Air Chief Marshal Fali Homi Major 21 Fali Homi Major 21 Fali Homi Major 21 Fali Homi Major Rank Air Chief Marshal March 31, 2007 to March 31, 2009, born on 29 May 1947, Secunderabad, Telangana, India. Air Chief Marshal Fali Homi Major, PVSM, AVSM, SC, VM, ADC, served as the 21st Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force, taking office on 1 April 2007, and becoming the first helicopter pilot in the service to be promoted to the office of Chief. He retired on 31 May 2009, and was succeeded in office by Air Chief Marshal P.V. Naik. 22 Pradeep Vasant Naik 22 Pradeep Vasant Naik 22 Pradeep Vasant Naik Rank Air Chief Marshal March 31, 2009 to July 31, 2011, born on the 22nd of July 1949, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. Air Chief Marshal Pradeep Vasant Naik, PVSM, VSM, served as the 22nd Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force. He took office on 31 May 2009 following the retirement of Air Chief Marshal Fali Homi Major and was succeeded in office by Air Chief Marshal Norman Anil Kumar Brown. 23 Norman Anil Kumar Brown 23 Norman Anil Kumar Brown 23 Norman Anil Kumar Brown Rank Air Chief Marshal August 1, 2011 to December 31, 2013 Born on 15 December 1951 Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh. India Air Chief Marshal Norman Anil Kumar Brown, PVSM, AVSM, VM, ADC also known as and Quat, Charlie and Quat, Brown, is a former Chief of the Air Staff, CAS, of the Indian Air Force. He served in this position from 31 July 2011 to 31 December 2013. Brown served as India's ambassador to Norway from August 2014 to April 2016. 24 Arup Raha 24 Arup Raha 24 Arup Raha Rank Air Chief Marshal December 31, 2013 to December 31, 2016 Born on 26 December 1954 Baidyabati, West Bengal, India Air Chief Marshal Arup Raha, PVSM, AVSM, VM, ADC, D.Lit. Honorary Bengali was the 21st Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force and served from 31 December 2013 to 31 December 2016. He was also the chairman of the Chiefs of Staff Committee, a post occupied by India's senior-most military officer, who advises the government and ensures joints-manship in the armed forces. 25 Birender Singh Dhanoa 25 Birender Singh Dhanoa 25 Birender Singh Dhanoa Rank Air Chief Marshal December 31, 2016 to September 30, 2019 Born on 7 September 1957 Deoghar, Bihar India Air Chief Marshal Birender Singh Dhanoa, PVSM, AVSM, YSM, VM, ADC is an Indian Armed Air Force officer who was the 22nd Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force and served from 31 December 2016 to 30 September 2019. 3, 4, 5. Dhanoa also served as the chairman of the Chiefs of Staff Committee. 26 Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria 26 Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria 26 Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria Rank Air Chief Marshal September 30, 2019 to September 30, 2021 Born on 15 September 1959 Korath, Agra Uttar Pradesh, India Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria PVSM AVSM VMADC, born 15 September 1959, is a retired Indian Air Force officer, who served as the Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force, having assumed office on 30 September 2019 after the retirement of Air Chief Marshal Birender Singh Dhanoa. He retired on 30 September 2021 and was succeeded by Air Chief Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary. 27 Vivek Ram Chaudhary 27 Vivek Ram Chaudhary 27 Vivek Ram Chaudhary Rank Air Chief Marshal September 30, 2021 still continued, born on 4 September 1962 Maharashtra, India Air Chief Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary, PVSM AVSM VMADC is an air officer of the Indian Air Force. He currently serves as the Chief of the Air Staff, CAS. He took over as the 27th CAS succeeding Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadoria on 30 September 2021. He earlier served as the 45th Vice Chief of the Air Staff and as the Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief Western Air Command. So this is our little documentary, which is written by Nihar Dash for public domain purpose only.